Hi, welcome back. Q&A part 2. So we're gonna continue to answer questions that our clients and our listeners have submitted, and we're gonna go ahead and answer these questions. Okay, what is the difference between a family petition through an immediate relative versus a family preference category relative? Okay, so for immediate family petition, you're not subject to the visa bulletin, but for a family preference category relative, you are subject to that because each year there is a certain number of visas that are allocated by Congress. So for the immediate relative petition, you don't have to wait a long time. The visa is readily available to you, but not for like a family-based category. So for example, if your parent as a U.S. citizen has filed for you as an unmarried child, unmarried son and daughter of a U.S. citizen, they're subject to the visa bulletin. Okay, and you can check the priority deadlines and priority time on the USCIS or the Visa Bulletin website. Okay, next question. I am a legal permanent resident and I don't really care to become a citizen. Okay. What are the benefits of naturalizing? Okay. Okay. So the benefits of becoming a U.S. citizen is that I always tell this to clients. When you're a legal permanent resident, you're subject to 3 different laws. You're subject to state laws, federal laws, and immigration laws. When you're naturalized, you're no longer subject to any sort of immigration laws or regulation because you're no longer a legal permanent resident. Also, other benefits of becoming a naturalized citizen is you have the right to vote, and you can pretty much what's it called? Get engaged to certain like public events that are only allowed for U.S. citizens. Okay, all right. And if you want to petition someone, it's usually faster to do it as a U.S. citizen petitioner. Okay. Okay. Can I travel to my home country after I received my green card as a SIJS applicant, even though I had previously filed an asylum application that was pending? Very, very, very good question. This is a very common question that we get because if you file for asylum or if you receive your green card or as an asylum applicant, you cannot go back to your home country because United States has provided this protection to you because you have a free of return to your home country. But as a SIJS applicant, if you receive your green card, you are allowed to go back to your home country and you're not subject to that provision that is with asylum. Okay, and once your green card is usually granted, you are your asylum application is automatically withdrawn. Okay, okay. Oh, there's a follow-up question. What happens to my SIJS I-360 case? Oh, I'm sorry, this is a separate question. What happens to my SIJS I-360 case if my guardian in my custody case has passed away? This is a little tough question, but for the most part, if your I-360 has been approved, you should be okay. Unless there has been a change in circumstances where the guardianship or the custody has completely been revoked. I have had a situation like this where there was a dispute between the guardian and the proposed guardian and the ward, and the guardianship and the SIJS petition was actually revoked. So for the most part, no, but generally, it's not going to affect the case. So the next question is, can my child apply for SIJS if his other parent is not living with us, but they are living in the United States? Oh, not a big fan of the question, but if you can apply for SIJS if the child was neglected, abused, and abandoned by one or both parents. In this case, I believe they're talking about single parent SIJS, where, for example, the abandonment and neglect has happened in the U.S. and, for example, the other parents is in a different state. The answer to this question is yes. Okay. But again, the facts needs to, like, we really need to know all the facts in order to make that decision. I have a pending case with the Ninth Circuit. I just got married to a U.S. citizen. Can I obtain my green card? Ooh. Tough one. So if you have a case, for example, in this case, usually it's an asylum case, where you have exhausted the appeal process. So when the immigration judge issues a removal order and you appeal it to BIA, usually you go to that circuit that you have, that you're residing. So for California's Ninth Circuit, yes, you can apply for your green card through a U.S. citizen spouse, but you have to file a motion to probably reopen or remand based on your new relief, which is your marriage to a U.S. citizen. And depending on how you enter the U.S., that's how you can exercise that option, okay? So for the most part, yes, but, it's a little tough one. After getting my green card, what are my restrictions? Oh, okay. Well, after you get your green card, the restriction that you have is that, yes, you are a legal permanent resident, but you're not a citizen. So if you commit certain crimes, like, for example, domestic violence, like assault, felonies, things that are bad in their nature, you can be subject to deportation and your green card can be revoked. Your restriction is that you cannot, you have to maintain your legal permanent resident status in the U.S. That means you cannot be outside the U.S. for a long time. And obviously, you're unable to vote and, engage in certain activities that are only required for U.S. citizens. We have one other question here. Actually, a few other, but I'm only going to answer one last one. So the question that they're asking is, I believe something like related with ICE. Give me 1 second. What steps should I take when I am detained? Okay, what should I do if I'm detained by ICE? Okay, I'm going to talk more in detail about detainees and what are the things that can happen when you're detained by ICE. So I think if you already feeling that you're in a situation where you may get picked up by ICE, and for example, if you have a deportation order or something, you should definitely make, preparation, like leave a will, trust or something, so that in case you are prepared to have a plan ready to deal with this. But when you are generally picked up by ICE, you should exercise your right to remain silent, ask to be represented by an attorney, and ask to be seen by an immigration judge, and ask to have a lawyer represent you. Your immigration attorney can file their G-20 with ICE to speak to your deportation officer regarding your case and to exhaust any options that are available to you to get your case reopened, get you to apply a request for a bond to be released and to continue your case outside the detention center. I'm going to make a video to answer a lot of questions regarding this topic. I don't think just these few questions can answer all of it. However, for more information, please visit our website at www.adhamilawgroup.com. Listen to our podcast and follow us on social media. Thank you and stay tuned.